Chazal tell us that one gets saras for speaking Lashon Hara. The Medrash Rabbah brings down a fascinating event. The Medrash says that Rabbi Yanai was walking in the shuk one day, and he heard a man proclaim, "Who wants to buy life? Who wants an elixir of life?" Rabbi Yanai walked over to the man and said, "Please, let me see what you have to sell." This man said to Rabbi Yanai, "It's not for you and not for your kind." Rabbi Yanai didn't know what to make of it. He pressed and he said, "Please sell me it, please sell me this potion." The man said, "It's not for you." Finally, Rabbi Yanai persevered. The man took out a tehillim and said, "Look at the pasuk. It says, Mia isha chavetz chaim, who is the man who wishes life? Netzor lashon chamira, guard your tongue from speaking bad." Rabbi Yanai said, "All of my days I learned that pasuk. Never did I realize how simple it was. Never did I realize how obvious it was." This medrash is rather perplexing, because it seems that Rabbi Yanai learned a lesson that changed the way he viewed things and may have even changed his action, but it doesn't seem to be clear that he learned anything at all. He must have read that pasuk hundreds, maybe thousands of times before. He knew the pasuk very well. What is it that this peddler taught Rabbi Yanai that he said, "All of my days I read this pasuk and never understood it"? What was the great revelation? And to understand this, I'd like to share with you a mashal. Imagine a couple is looking for a yeshiva for their son. They look at various institutions, various mostos, and finally they hit upon what looks like the perfect yeshiva. The right balance, the right type of rebbeim, the right sviva, everything is perfect. They're about to enroll their child in that yeshiva, and when they hear something, the wife turns to the husband and says, "I just heard terrible news. In that yeshiva the boys smoke. How could we send our child there?" They sit down, they discuss it back and forth. A lifelong habit could be formed, dangerous to one's health. In fact, they decide not to send their child to that yeshiva because of the danger of him learning how to smoke. Now, you and I may debate whether they made the right decision or the wrong decision, but let's change the scenario slightly. Let's imagine the same yeshiva, same perfect fit, but then they heard a little bit different piece of news. They were about to enroll their child in yeshiva when they heard, in that yeshiva they speak Lashon Hara. The wife turns to the husband and says, "Oh my goodness, we can't send Yankel to that yeshiva. They speak Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara is a lifelong habit. Who knows what can happen?" And in fact, they decide not to send their child to the yeshiva. That second scenario never happened, because I don't think a couple would ever say, "We're not going to send our child to yeshiva because some boys there speak Lashon Hara." But here's the pivotal observation. Smoking is dangerous to one's health, I suspect. Meaning, if you study the statistics, it's but a small percentage of smokers who actually die from lung cancer, emphysema, or smoking-related diseases. Yet the Torah tells us it's a guarantee. Mi'a'isha chavetz chaim, if you wish to live, guard your tongue. The Torah promises us that long life comes to the one who doesn't speak Lashon Hara, and Lashon Hara kills. So what's the difference between the two examples? If these are educated people, they know the pasuk, they're fully aware that Lashon Hara kills, and they're also aware that smoking is only a percentage of people who will die. And I believe the answer to this question is, when medical science tells us a fact, it's a fact. It's real, and it's very frightening. When the Torah tells us something, well, I'm not sure if I'm on that level of emunah, I'm not sure if I'm really quite there yet, then it remains in the realm of I'm not really sure. And the sad reality is that we give a lot of credence, a lot of weight to what's accepted by science, but our own Torah, written by the Creator of the heavens and earth, is sort of, well, I'm not sure. And I believe that that's the answer for Rabbi Yanai. As great as Rabbi Yanai was, and as clear as he understood every word in the Torah to be emes, even he, even a Tana, had a certain level of not 100% clear. When that Rochel, when that peddler said to him, "Who wants life?" and he explained that this is the pasuk, Rabbi Yanai got it at a level that he didn't ever have it before. Up until that point, it was 99.9% clear, but now it went to a new level of clarity. He understood it palpably. He understood it with absolute clarity. Lashon Hara kills, and that lesson was so powerful that it changed his understanding. I believe this lesson is a very, very eye-opening lesson to us to understand that the words of the Torah are meant to be taken literally, and it's our job to understand the power contained within them, to understand that every word is emes, and to be taken exactly as it's meant.